What's going on YouTube? Chidi Delibe here. And I'd like to make a little comment about the whole Candace Owens and Kanye West whole debacle. And it's really exposing, for those who maybe don't pay attention to so much what's going on with entertainment news and politics and the left and whatnot, it's really exposing the reality that this is going deeper than just people in Hollywood, the celebrities, how they're demonizing Candace Owens. If you don't know who Candace Owens is, also known as Red Pill Black, was a former leftist Democrat voter, then came to the conservative side, made some videos, went viral, got on Fox News, got on other conservative news outlets, and here she is today. And so now she's working for Turning Point USA, which is a conservative outlet themselves. And she's got herself quite a platform being a young black female conservative. And she's dangerous in the sense that she doesn't use her position as a black person. She uses her position just with conservative ideals and shows how conservative ideals are what make America great and what make humanity and just the ideals are more powerful than leftist, Democrat, victimhood narrative, divisive ideology. She goes beyond all of that, and she doesn't use her blackness, her femininity, anything that most people, especially on the left-hand side of the aisle, use to try and gain some kind of position of power or position of I'm better than you are. And then you have Kanye West. Kanye West being an outspoken celebrity. He's been all over the place. He was up from the George Bush doesn't care about black people days to being a fashion designer, getting into it with Sway on Sway's show. Obviously married to the Kardashians, are all caught up into that whole drama. And so you can never know potentially what's going to come out of Kanye West's mouth. But why this is important, it's not so much of demonizing Candace Owens like they're doing, talking about how she's this far-right extremist, which is just crazy. She's a conservative person, and she has conservative ideals. And pretty much anything that's not left, according to the far left, is obviously radical and just beyond the pale. But it goes more to people truly understand. I keep on saying this, y'all. People need to understand if you are a minority, if you are a female, if you are somebody who aligns with the LGBT, the Democrat Party, the far left, they don't think they've won you over. They believe that they own you. And there's a big difference. There's a difference when somebody has an idea and their idea is so good that they win you over. That's different than the person who says, no, by the mere fact that you are black, you must be part of us, talking about the left. And if you are not part of us, and if you do not toe our line, then we will demonize you and treat you as if, in many ways, you're not even human anymore. And to me, it's such a connection to the slave master, the leftist, the pro-choice Democrat, has such a connection with the slave master, it's not even funny. The leftist believes you black person, and I don't like, people throw out the racist term and all that stuff, even though the Democrat Party has a long history of racism. But I don't have time for that video. That'll be add another 10, 15 minutes onto this video. Don't have time for that. You do it on a separate video. But there is so much to saying to black people that, hey, you must vote like us. And if you do not, then you are not truly black. You see, and if you do not fall in line with being a slave, then we will not treat you with even somewhat human decency as the slave master would do. And so they believe that they own the black people, own the gay people, own the women, the feminists. And one sole guy comes out, at least in this instance, Kanye West, who's all over the map on what he probably believes is right and wrong. But in this instance, he's just watching and looking, and he tweets and he's saying, you know what, hey, I like the way Candace Owens thinks. All right. And obviously she thinks conservative. She tweets conservative. She talks conservative in her interviews. And Kanye West is just watching what people are doing. He's paying attention. And he says, I like it. And the left loses their mind because one of their own, a black man, who they would assume is always on their left side, says something supporting, at least somewhat favoring a conservative who also happens to be black. And now Kanye West done lost total respect. Oh my gosh, we knew there was something wrong with Kanye. Oh, ever since he messed with them Kardashians, it's all been downhill. He met up with Donald Trump. We know there's something wrong with him. See, this is where the left side of the aisle, the conservatives are like, hey, that's cool that he's investigating. Because I always tell people, and I've been saying this with the whole Roseanne TV show. People were all getting big on the Roseanne TV show because she was a Trump supporter, not a Trump hater on the TV show. And so everybody's jumping on the bandwagon of Roseanne, talking about, oh, it's a conservative TV show. It's not a conservative TV show, y'all. All right, it's a TV show. Although Roseanne was a Trump supporter, there's still the transgender agenda. There's still the feminist pro-choice agenda is still being woven into the show. Leftist talking points are still being woven into the show. So don't just jump on the bandwagon. That's cool. I like the fact that it's a TV show on network TV that's not just like demonizing Trump. That's kind of nice, kind of refreshing. I'll give it that. But let's not jump on the bandwagon and make it seem like Roseanne's conservative. Oh, yeah. And now Kanye West, by the mere fact he tweets some 10, 15 odd tweets and says some things that fall in line with at least center-right or conservative thinking, that now we're going to look to Kanye West as somebody who darn near is like conservative. It's like, hold up. Let's just enjoy the fact that somebody's actually getting off the Democrat plantation, the far left plantation, and actually thinking freely and being bold enough and willing enough to actually voice their opinion on what they think and feeling no shame about that. That I applaud. Now, that's what I respect. I'm not a big fan of Kanye West in the sense of his music because just as a Christian, there's many ways, there's themes in his music, the vulgarity in the music, the misogyny in the music. Not a fan of that. But I'd always respect somebody who's willing to speak their mind and at least have a conviction. Even if you're wrong in your conviction, I at least respect you for taking a position. And that's how I feel about Kanye West. And definitely I respect Candace Owens because she has a conviction. She's very bold and she speaks very confidently about conservative ideals. And I know there was a whole social autopsy thing. In my opinion, she was trying to figure things out. People have their view of that and they may move forward feeling that she's not conservative. From everything I see about her, she carries herself in a conservative, so I'm going to treat her as such. But nonetheless, that's kind of my two cents on it. It's just you can see the left believe that they own black people. And until black people finally get it together, at least black leftists, at least until they finally see through the weeds and actually see that they're on there's a plantation for black leftists. Like you're on a plantation and white liberals, black leftists, you're on that plantation. And you're working, and the left believes they own you. And they'll never treat you as if they don't think they own you. No, they will always think they own you. And anytime you step out of line, they will crack that whip, and they will make sure you get back working on that plantation. And that's why it's sad that 95% of black people who actually vote for the Democrat Party, because they've been brainwashed according to the victimhood narrative to the black people, unless the government comes in and steps in and gives you programs and gives you money, gives you benefit, that you will never be able to get ahead. And they've been fed this for such a long time. And the only other option that they've been taught about is that Republicans are evil, white, old, and racist and don't care about black people. So therefore, you can't vote for them. Well, there are a segment of black people who are waking up and seeing that my grandparents, my parents, and myself, we've all been on a plantation. And nobody owns me except God himself. No man, no party is going to own me. I have my own thoughts. I have my own mind. God has given me that, and I ought to use it to make sure that I think freely, think righteously, and think for myself, period. And think with the wisdom that I can receive from God himself, and not try to rely on some human leader to teach me how I have to think, because that's what the left does with thought police. Anyway, those are my thoughts about it. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this whole Candace Owens, Kanye West thing. Very interesting, very exposing of the left and their mindset that they believe that they own black people. And black people have always been free. White people have always been free. Every human being has always been free, as God has so purposed them to be free. Free to choose, free to think. Let nobody own you. Let nobody tell you how you have to think. That's your business on how you think. But just make sure that you think not because somebody tells you to, but because you understand and know that it's the right thing to do. Anyways, that's my time. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Apologize for being, man, it's been about like 3 weeks since I put up a last video, maybe more than that. So apologize for the inconsistency, but go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep on putting up content as news keeps on coming out. And there's always something going on. So until then, talk to you on the next one. I'm out.